Are we live? All right, let's see. Somebody sees and hops on. I think we will know. Let's go over here and check another site. We'll get started working on that Scotty here shortly. Hey, we're live. Let's make sure it stays on. That's the gimmick. We're live. Make sure it stays on. Hey, we are live. All right, well then I can go out and get to work. Hopefully somebody jumps on here real quick. It's early, I know it's early, but I've already been up for 4 hours, so let's get to work. If you can hear me, let me know. I'm going to try it without the microphone today, or I could go pop it on there real quick. I don't know. See what you think. Can you? Somebody's like, hey, Big Job, what's going on, man? What's the sound like? Let me go over here. Can you hear me when I'm over here? Does this sound okay? Everything cool, copacetic? Looking good? Maybe? Listening good? Hey, John, what's up? What is up? Just wanted to check the sound, see if I have to go put my microphone on, which is no problem. Just let me know. Just let me know. Good enough? Let me go get the... Well, we don't want to be just good enough, do we? I mean, that's kind of how I live my life, but let's go see if we can crank that microphone. I charged it. I made a lot of progress yesterday, so I want to catch you guys up, and then we're going to build probably the most difficult part of the Scotty. All right, we got to plug the receiver in underneath, and then we'll turn this on until it starts blinking. It's on the top, and it's blinking. There we go. All right, let's try it. See what happens. Well, the question is, can you hear me? Can you hear me now that the mic is on? I hope you can. But how would you tell which microphone it is? All right. Is it better? Is it better or worse now with the mic on? Oh, there's a little bit of a delay. I want to be able to walk away from the camera a little bit on this operation. Oh, crap. There it goes. Okay, I'm going to walk out here and take that frame out a little bit, and I'll keep talking. I want to know, just in the comments, say, yes, I can hear you way out there very clearly, or no, the sound is going away. So I want to know right now, can you hear me? Does it sound good? Are we using the microphone? That is my question. I'm so good with technology, you understand. I don't know if I'll have to use this today or not. What am I working on? Yeah, I'm gonna need this. I'm gonna need the table saw. Sounding good from the very beginning. Either way is fine. We can hear you. Okay, just keep me updated. I think we are good on the mic now. Just trying to get this deal set up here. I think the closer I can keep it to the outside. So, look at that. How does that make you feel? That's that Scotty floor. It's supposed to look like that, I think. I don't know. Did I do a good job? It doesn't look like that one very much. Ah, jeez. What a clown. But let me get out of the way. Here's that. Now today, Let's see if we can do like that. Sounds good. All right, great. Great, that's what I'm looking for. Let me get a couple of DeWalt batteries here. And let's see that. A couple of saws. I think I'm going to need my drill as well. I have not done this in a long time, so this is tricky. Building the drop down. I've got it all structured out. You know, I think one needs to go across there as well. It does. Yep. And I did not build that yesterday. Hey, we'll build it today. How about them apples? I don't need all this right this second. Let's get our... I got too excited to start the live and I didn't exactly get set up. You're not new here, so you understand. Okay, so we got to go about like, I don't know, can you? Yeah, you can see that. Somewhere around 20. And I don't know that I really have one built or cut at 20. Oh, this one right here. It'll do the trick. It really, no. Does that sit on there? I think it does in the front. So we're gonna have to do better than that. All right. Let me see what I got over here. Shop's starting to fill up with lumber again. And cardboard. I'd like to use a small 2x4 versus tearing up a, that might, will that do it? Well, that's close. Alright, so if that sits, no, that's not gonna do it. It's not gonna do it. This is 65 Scotty that we're gonna be working with today. I missed a piece, missed a spot, as they say. So I'm gonna try to rectify that this morning. And then we're gonna get working on the drop down. So if I need 20, I think I'm gonna make this 19 here. This is not a very good 2x4. I see why I called it, for sure. But it'll be good for parts and pieces. Now, we gotta cut that down to 1 7/8, which I set for yesterday. So we're okay. Let's see if there's a good side here. Now, back to our patient. This will slip in here, and right here is for that 2-inch frame piece to go through. Hopefully, that will work. We'll try and just set this in here. I'll tack it in a little bit, make sure it's where it goes. I really am kind of surprised I forgot that one, but like I said, it's been time. Hopefully those nails went through and I can see underneath there, and I can run a couple of 2-inch screws into that. And then it will not go anywhere. Battery. I have been learning that these batteries do not last in perpetuity. I've had to replace some here and there, but I use the heck out of them. I really do. I shouldn't. I don't know. I don't think I was going to play it. Okay, we got to go back. Well, looks like my nail did not come through, so I'm going to make another that definitely goes through, so I know where to put these screws in. It's kind of the fastest way for me when I'm laying down here under the ground. Yep, that did it. Okay, so here. Let's see, we got one in way too easy, and there's why. Okay. Didn't put enough oomph in it. Okay. Yeah, we can always solve that problem. Put some weights on it. Oh, not like that. Okay. Come on up here, I'll grab another screw. Adjustment there. A little more. Right there. Okay. Do it twice theater. Live. That sounds like that one. Got it. One more for good measure. There we go. Missed. Oh my gosh. I should have had more coffee, don't you think? That's not bad. What's this one? Every year that goes by, I get a little more tired of laying on the ground. I can tell you that. All right, where are we at here? Hit the like button. Appreciate that big job. It helps. Was it just you and me here, John? Oh, there's way more people here. They're just not talking. There's Gary. Glad to see you doing something constructive today. Hey, Gary, stick around. It might be destructive. Just you wait. Just you wait. We started today out with a strong do it twice theater. So do not think I am above doing more. All right. Clear this out. I think we're all good there. So let's get the battery back. For right now, and you guys that are watching can tell me, I'm going to keep the camera on our patient here. I could back it out and you can see more of me doing whatever else I'm doing. If I'm going off screen too much and that's what you want, just tell me. Otherwise, we'll just leave it on our patient so that you get a better idea of what I'm doing here. Not so much what I'm wandering around doing. That's up to you guys. It's all the same to me. When I'm watching people build things, I would rather see the patient. But, you know, sometimes I don't mind seeing the presenter as well. Now, on here, I'm sure you can't, maybe you can't see, there is about a half to 3/4 inch line that goes all the way from that end to this end, 3/4 in from this, and from that. Same thing here, 3/4 inch line in from this, it makes the curve right here, well, it makes a 90. And then 3/4 this way, 3/4 on the inside. Let me grab so this, when I get it cut down, that's where the drop down, what is that? That's where the drop down will sit. Because on the way this one was constructed, the drop down goes under the plywood. Sometimes it goes up right in front of it. You could do it however you want. This is just how that one was done, so I'm going to do it how that one was done. And I'm hoping that they did it that way because yesterday, hey, you weren't watching because I wasn't filming. I had to cut off, like this was the 4x8. 4x8. And then we're cutting at 75, so I cut that off. Well, then up here are those extra pieces. And we needed 16 inches. 75, 96 is 21. We took 16 off. That gave us these 5-inch planks, which is why I think that drop down out there, I looked super pink because I got sunburned 2 days ago on that live. Anyway, who cares? So these were left over, and Scotty always tried to use every last piece. So I think that's why that one is so short, is they tried to use this. So they get the 3/4-ish, 5/8 really, from the top of the floor, which this is the bottom, and then this extra 5. So I think that's why they did that. I think that is, I hope that's the key to victory, because I do not want to go cut anymore. Let's go out and measure that real quick. That's exactly it. If this piece is 5 inches, which it should be close, then we are drop down city. And it's a little light from that, because I believe lumber is a little different now than it was in 65. But we're gonna go with this. We're gonna make it work. Make it work. I've got one other one. There it is. We'll just have to see, because if it does end up being too short, you know, it's going to settle a little bit. But if it does end up being too short, I do have some other plywood laying around here that we can make work, I'm sure. I'm sure. It's just nice to have these long runs to go. Well, that one's not going to make the whole run. It'll make it here. And then the other one will definitely make this. Then we may have to cut one for that anyway. So, yeah, either way, we'll make it happen. What am I building? Leon, I am building a I tore down a 1965 Scotty Sportsman, 13 foot. All are kind of the same. And I am going to rebuild it custom into a 1965 13-inch Scotty Highlander. It'll have a cool bump at the back, which they never made. I saw one online. I said, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. I'm going to try and make one. So that's what we're going to do. If you go to the YouTube channel, I did a couple of videos on and you can see the picture in there if you're interested in that. Hey, Jack, will you be updating the axle or leaving it original? I have been filming. Man, I feel like I'm right up on you. I have been filming as I go, and I intend on filming for 3 or 4 days and then putting the video out on the weekend. So I do have all of that explained, but since you're here, I'm going to check the bearings and everything as I usually do. But I don't think this thing has very many miles on it. The Scotty is in, and you go to the axle really to look. And there's other indicators that I went through on the video that Russ will get edited and hopefully this weekend. But I want everybody to stay kind of, up to date on this one, because this one is going to be for sale. Somebody could stop in right now and say, hey, how much? Okay, I want to buy it. Something like that. So I don't think that, I know we're not going to have to, 99.999, we're not going to have to replace anything with the axle. I think it's got very low miles. Very low miles. But tune in, probably Sunday, to see why I think that and see the indicators. Let me clear this off. A couple of great questions right in a row. Wow, you guys are on it today. Don't particularly like to think this early in the morning, but I appreciate it. Okay. So what I like to do is I'm going to battery. I like to cut this from the top because it would be very difficult because I've already got this stuff in here. So what I do is I take a drill bit and then I just go to the corner of every 90 degree. So there's, wait a minute. Yes, I want to cut it on the outside because I want this still here. Think about that one, boys. Yes, I don't want to cut that. All right. Okay. This one is pretty obvious, but I'm just going to mark it here because I can see it. So I can just take a straight edge on the top and go from the middle of this hole to my line here, from the middle of this hole to the middle of this hole. Well, more on the edge of the hole. And then I can use my 4-foot level too because I think that I don't think it's 48. Yeah, it's got to be more than 48 on this long run. But either way, we can do that or we can get out our chalk line. I've had that chalk line. I think it's probably a 70s model. I think I stole that from my dad. You know, when you move out, sometimes you just need some things to remind you of your chalk line. Yeah. Who knows? Who knows? You never mentioned it. Okay. Now, as long as we stay on those lines, that's going to give us enough room. And the good thing is, even if we make a mistake on this, which I do on every single one, for me, I don't have a template necessarily, and I don't do 50 of them in a day, like they did from the factory, and they could just whip them out. So I've got to really have my thinking cap on. So I really take my time, check and double check. I almost did this last night, but I had done all of this and all the numbers and all the measuring, and my mind said, nah, you're going to take a break today, son. Do it tomorrow. So that's where we're at on that. Okay. So I'm just giving it the once over twice here, and I think we are just fine to flip it over, start making the cut. And we got to be so careful because really, you think about it, if you do this cutout, then it's the floor. But if you mess this cutout up, you got to go get another 4x8 sheet. And that's when you're not making money at that. Well, I mean, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. So, kind of where I'm standing on that now. Question is, can I big dog this on my own? And I'm wondering if this isn't the easier way to go over here. Gotta find that tipping point. And then it'll do the work itself. Okay. Come on, girl. Woo. Seems like that used to be easier a couple years ago. I'm going to take these off because I do not want to slice through them by any means. I'm not gonna set them on the Let's Beautiful camper. That, she would not want to see that. Okay. And here, I'll back you out in case something falls on me. You'll have a reason to laugh. Just like a totally restored classic car, how you go about insuring your restored camper trailer to cover your investment. Haggerty, for example, who deals in vintage and classic. I have, there was Haggerty and one other that I saw online that people said they'll do approved value. And I think some of the bigger insurance companies are starting to do approved value or agreed upon value or something. Something like that. Okay. I don't know about this one. Huh. Mm-hmm. I don't know. This is going to be a disaster. This is going to be a disaster. Maybe if I just inch it out here. Like this. Just a little at a time. Something like this. So I gotta hit that with some more screws. So I'm laying on the ground when I'm screwing this in from the top. You gotta kind of get a good look at it sometimes to see if you did good or not. This might do it. That was not careful what I was expecting. Oh, good. Yeah, these need my attention just to suck that up a little bit, really. Did I give you a good shot? Can you see what we're doing here? There we go. Yeah. Okay. You know, obviously, I feel like I have to go faster because I don't want anybody to tune out, but they're going to tune out if they don't care. I don't know. Don't get in a hurry. This plywood right here is kind of bowed a little bit. This is like from here back is all under the bed, so it's cool. I mean, but I do want to take the bow out of it, which is what I'm trying to do right now. Let's see if that happens. That might have done. Let's see what this does. Go with this guy here. Broke my bit. That's a DeWalt bit too. How in the heck did that happen? Probably all made at the same factory anyway. What's a guy to do? There's another one on again. Let's see what this one is. I think it's number 2 is what we use. Yep. Okay. Here. Jackpot. Jackpot. I'm going to get one more. Usually, after I set it on the trailer, I go back and I look, like I wouldn't probably put one more here, maybe one there, just something like that, and make sure that I've got all my bases covered. Mainly what we're doing here is just trying to make sure that when I move it, nothing's falling apart. Just more or less for my safety. For once. Hey, listen, I wore safety goggles cutting all this wood yesterday. So you gotta watch the video just to see that. Out there, in here. Oh, I was double safe yesterday. Okay, now. There's the front, so this is the door side, right? Holy shit, did I shoot? No. No, there we go, we just got canceled. All right, I got turned around. I did it right. I did it right. I did it right, sorry I swore. In the process of making the floor, and then the walls first, and then after you go over and do the trailer frame, bring it in for assembly. Yes, my goal today is, it's getting warm today, is to get this drop down complete, and then to put the vinyl down. And once the vinyl is down, it has to sit. I can't do anything more on this trailer floor until that dries, which I always make it an overnight process. So I'll finish this. I will put the new vinyl down, and then I'll cover it up where the floor is, just with some weights and whatever, and it will accept it. And then I will take the trailer out. You can't see what I feel so cramped. I'll take the trailer out and I will power wash it and probably start grinding some of the parts away. I've got to put a new jack on it, so I've got to go get a new jack on top of grinding the old jack off. Oh, there I go again. Oh, jeez. Okay. What's wrong with me? All right. So, okay. I know where we're at. Don't be crazy. I always measure the roof before I take apart everything, before I send it all tumbling down. And I almost started doing that, and then I realized this roof isn't going to be the same. It's going to have the bump up. Okay. So this upside down and backwards, boys. Upside down and backwards. So this will go here. I need to pull that out. This goes on. This is where the door begins, right here. The drop down and the door share the same space. We got a couple of nubbies hanging out here we don't need hanging out. Okay. Yeah. And there is my mark right here. Hold that down right there. Hopefully it stayed on down there. And that just gives me a little chalk line right there. Yeah, perfect. Okay. Now, the yellow 4-foot level will do the trick. So I want to go to the outside, Okay. Now this side is going to be covered up, because if we can make these benches, this is just terrible. How do we do this? I wonder if that might be a little bit better. You'll put the vinyl down before you mount the floor under the trailer. No. The drop down will be done and vinyled by the time we leave. Then we'll go do the trailer. Then we'll drop it on the trailer. I think. Not under, but onto the trailer frame. The drop down will be done. This whole floor is done before it goes on the frame. try to put it all on at once. So some people don't do that. I've had it 60% of the time here lately, good fit. Catastrophic once where I had to really change some things. Sometimes it's just taking a blade and taking a touch off. But usually it's not that big of a deal. So anyway, what I was trying to tell you is from here over, for the most part, is completely covered. Because on this side, on a 13-foot Highlander, not on a regular Highlander, this would be the potty closet, but it's the kitchen. And I saved from another project the fiberglass sink, and it's pretty wide. So it will overhang the drop down here, kind of basically giving you a toe kick. And so it starts here. We're going to, you can take any of your adjustments out of the dinette. Generally, they're 31.5-ish. I've made them 30 before, and I've made them 32, just depending on what I have operating that day. It's just what it is. So if we go from up here back to here, we're sitting at 32. But we're going to need a 1/2 inch right here to nail into. Well, and the only reason I put this on here, because really we could just nail in or screw into the base for the kitchen counter. But I like to have one. Number one, it cleans it up right here, and it's only going to take a 1/2 inch out of it. And if you get really looking, it'll match over there. And that's kind of, I think this is going to be a special build. I really do. So I'm trying to remove any problems that a customer might come in and say, well, it'd be nice if that was there. I mean, I'm not going to spend a ton of money, more money on it than I do normally, but I want it to be just as nice, but maybe I take a little extra time to do this, this, and this. Just because they're going to look at it weird anyway. 13-foot Scotty? What the heck is that? 30 Highlander? No way. And then I got to see the inside. Well, then if they get excited on the outside, I want them to get excited on the inside. And I'm kind of, people talk about my interiors, generally in the positive. A little pat yourself on the back moment there. I didn't mean to do that. But I want them to have no less than my best effort on the interior. Okay. It's still got to look like a Highlander, though. Keep that in mind. All right. So we're fine on this measurement. That gives us 32. That's 31.5. And I think that's what I said. They normally are 31.5. Well, actually, it will come out a little more because the Scotty bumps out right there. So who knows? But then again, you got to remember that fiberglass sink, the countertop hangs over, in my estimation, too much. I think it's like 1.5 inches or something like that. And we may be able to get that down to 1/2 inch or 1 inch. But the moral of the story is we got 32 to work with plus whatever the bump out in the front is. Let me know if I'm getting too far into the weeds. I kind of feel like I just did. You guys like that though, I think, sometimes. I mean, I do. I wouldn't say it if I'm enjoying it. All right, let's do the same thing down here. Shake up my chalk. Oh, not there. This one is there to there. Okay. Take a look at it. So remember, we made that dog leg turn up here. My hay fever's kind of getting me a little bit. Everything is starting to bloom here in Oklahoma. Okay, so I want to get on the edge there to the edge here. I feel like I should move over a touch on that end. Hey Gary, grab a hold of this for me, would you? He would if he was here. Okay. Right there. That's real good. Chalk line and center. Okay. Now we just gotta do this dog leg. So we went to the outside on that one. That's the only one that goes that way. And then top side here, something like that. And also, what I try to do over here, you can see probably that I think there's 1.5 inches. I feel like I'm right on top of this thing. It's bugging me. Over there. Ah, daggone it. Maybe up here is better. My voice kind of has that low tone to it. So if this thing is right on my voice, it's too loud. Most of this, because the door starts right here and the wheel well comes to here, I try to cover all of this anyway. And there's only going to be a piece of the J-rail that's not J-rail is what goes on top here. And so all you're going to see is a little trim of the not J-rail and then the cabinet over here. So this really covers all this. This will be alive out to, let's see, what do I think I make those cabinets a little thinner to the wall just so you can get in and out of bed. Because that kitchen counter really comes out. I need to bring that in here one of these minutes. So the wheel well is 13. And this dog leg is almost 20. We do not want 20. So if you're looking at 75 and you've got 20 and 20, you just took that down to 35. And that's, that's not much for some of us folks that maybe your back is getting a little stiff. You don't want to do gymnastics to get into bed. So I have started backing these in unless I have to put the refrigerator in here, which I don't think I have to. I got the same one that's in, you can't see it, in the Shasta, Lillette Shasta. I got that same one, and it should fit nicely underneath that fiberglass sink. But I am also my working plan is I'm also going to put in a stove because it fits that fiberglass. So there should be room. So that means I can pull this in and really I just, if it's just 16, that covers up all that mess. And it's not going to be a very long, because right here is 48, although it does bump out a touch in the back. So you're looking at right here is going to be getting into bed. And let's see, if we went, let's say we took 13 plus 3. Let's say we just go out here. That'd be about a 17. And let's see, what is that? We're going to have to go more than that. See what kind of, we haven't got that to 30 to 40. 40 may not seem like a lot more than 35, but it really is when you're trying to do gymnastics to get back into bed. And we'll see what we can do back here too with that sink. Because the further we move it up that way, the better, I think, but I don't know. Really, we need to work to the bed, right? We need to work to the bed, now that I think about it. Bed's going to be a 48. That's what I've put in all my small Scotties, unless there was something from the customer that said, no, I want something else. So we do go with that 48-inch bed. It's a standard RV side. And then up front, the dinette will be a 32-inch, more or less, a twin-size bed. So plenty to camp for 2 people. And a dog, if he's girly size, right? Took Curly out to the little local, teeny tiny. I got to take you guys out there for a tour. Um, it's a couple of small lakes with a real small. I can't get used to this up and down with a real small campground on it, and cool. Took. I don't know. We may get out there soon if this weather holds. I'm trying to get ahead on this because I had some people call me. I'm wondering if then in case somebody's coming in or be ready for when somebody's coming in, that I don't make them wait for whatever, next year. So as soon as I can get them out, who's ever may be coming in, I want to get them on the road. Okay. Now what I have to do, stop talking. It's not what you're here for. I'm going to take this and this. And what I want to do is line up. Let's see. This is the furthest point for you. And what's the other point? Let me see. I think this is about as good as we're going to get. It's right here and right here. We're pretty close. So I'm going to take. Now, I'm going to adjust this to just below the width. Yeah. So that when I do start cutting, if I veer off, I'm not tearing into my cross braces too much. Oh, people talking here. What the heck are you doing? Okay, not that much. Do you think a two-tone color is where you're going with the exterior? Absolutely. It's going to look like a Highlander. 100%. Unless somebody jumps in here and buys it and says, I want this. Then they'll get that. But I really, in my heart, I want it to look like a Highlander. I wanted to people to walk by and go, that is so cool, but what's happening? And then you have to tell them. It just creates a little conversation. There's people who like to camp and talk about their fancy camper. A lot of people like that. And I think if you're one of those people, this is the camper for you. And colors that will really pop, and what colors you consider? Just the traditional Scotty colors. Arm ain't long enough to reach, Gary says. What if Curly brings home a guest? You better consider his needs for privacy. He's got a stuffed monkey that he's in love with, and it's embarrassing. You have people come over and sitting down watching TV, and here he goes. He's like putting on a show. So, I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do with him. It's going to have a pink stripe. No, it's not, Gary. I promise you that. Okay. You'll forgive me if I make some noise. See what I can do here. I think I want to slip underneath there real quick and just give it a quick once over. Just make sure I'm where I need to be. Oh boy. Hey boys, that's not bad. Not bad at all. And that's why I waited overnight to do this part. This is a thinking man's game right here, and I wasn't thinking right, really, to be honest with you. That's when I know it's time to go in. Okay, we got about 4 more actually. Okay. Get this started. That's the end of my arm. Get on there, that's good. I think it will behoove me that I don't have to cut down this middle. There's just a, oh wait a minute, there it is. There's just a lot of wood and weight that's happening here, you know. So I think just to be safe here, we're gonna, we ain't doing nothing. There we go. I think that'll help a little bit. Because really we're cutting it in half, basically. Whew. But, you know, there's only one piece that's on that side that goes all the way down to from north to south. There's plenty east to west. Yeah, let's see. Let's see. That thing's tickling my neck. I kind of feel like Curly's monkey right now. I think I'll move that down a little bit. Oh, the thing is, I've got the windsock on it because I was out in the wind the other day, and I'm not in the wind now. Oh well. Why did I walk all the way around? I don't know. Let's clear some of this sawdust out. Okay. Even if it doesn't fit, I think it's going to be a good looking drop down. Okay. Just where the saw did not reach here. Woo! That was quick. Yeah, that little piece underneath there did the trick. Most helpful. Still holding on there. There it is. There it goes. Well, there you go. How about that? You know what? Now that I think about it, big job. I think I do the trailer and then set the drop down. I do. That tells you how long it's been since I've had to do a drop down. You were right. Now there's a bunch of misinformation out there. Well, you watch my channel, watch this channel long enough. Okay. So, I guess the thing to do now, well, next question is, where's my pieces of lumber? Do these sit on top? Could it fall off? No, because then it would go right next to it. So it has to come down here like that, right? Could it do that? Yeah, because it's got to go under there. And that creates the size to move over. Yeah. Yes, that is correct. Okay. Yeah, so for this to sit under there, I'm going to have to do a little jimmy in here and there. Okay. Let's take a walk out here. Let's see what we're doing here. Yes, it goes on the outside so that it can go underneath. It does. It does. I mean, mathematically it had to, but, you know, I like to take a look. Big job. You know better than I do. Yeah, you had me. I don't know. Who knows? I have done it before setting it, and it was a mistake every time. Not every time, but it can cause more problems. See, so I need to go here, make one there. With the stuff I have, I feel like I can finish this up. I wonder if they used a new piece. Of course, they've got leftover from everything, you know, at the factory. So, well, I can't even. Oh, can I see that side? No, they used one piece for that long side. So I'm going to have to make one. Which I should have some around here, I would think. But between now and then. So yes, we're good there. I've got that and that. Well, this is going to be a treat. We're going to fire up the air compressor. Just sing along in your head. Sing a happy tune. That's not that loud. Okay. Set my pencil down somewhere. I'm going to move back here because I got to use that saw back there too. See what kind of view we can get here. That might be all right. I think I'm going to make this front piece right here even with this. That way these long pieces can come in and get some sturdiness. That is my game plan. So this is 30 1/4. Right there. double check, 30 and a quarter. 30 and a quarter. That should be enough to get us doing what we need to do. That just irritates me. Is that going? I don't know why. It's not that bad. So that's the way it came out. So this is the way we got to build it back up. A little visual representation for it. Get this where I can get exactly on what I want. Then I'll go back over this. I may have to do it right now because there's a piece here that's acting crazy about not wanting to. It's got a little bow to it. As we did earlier, we'll just clean that up. Put the screws on. It's not cut long. Is it? It is a little bit. Just a touch. I think we'll. Let's do our best. First time, everybody's watching, and here you are. I'm going to try to not worry about anything. Wonder why he's so good at pulling those nails out. He makes too many mistakes. Little guy there giving me a problem. Fix him with a hammer. Well, sometimes that plywood will hold on, sometimes it won't. Okay. Not touch my finger. Okay. There two. Are you guys able to watch that video that we released yesterday? Find any of that interesting by chance? Or did you already know? A lot of you guys probably already know. Been to Home Depot enough on your own. Hey, there we go. Suck that right up. Let's look and see what we're doing here. Now, stand it down. Scotch. As long as we're here right now, we might as well just put some of these screws in right now. It was kind of fun doing that video in and out of Home Depot. Home Depots. I didn't get too many weird looks. I tried to be as discreet as I could so that I just didn't want to be caught in a disruption. And then I get on the HD no-fly list. That would be embarrassing. It would be the only place I've ever been kicked out of, but that's one I want to go back. Get off that knot. There we go. And workbench. Pretty classy, huh? How many rebuilders does it take to put a 2-inch screw in? More than you think. I need more 2-inch screws. And you'll see on that video I bought them while I was there. 2-inch screws. I think it's interesting. Different people like different items, different types of screws, different types of this and that. And then they get stuck using them, and then somebody who has never used that, they've always used something else, and both of them think that the way they're doing it is the best. And sometimes I get in that conversation with a couple of my online pals that do this. We never get heated, because nobody's really right. If it works for you, then I think you're right. You know? And if it works for him, it's right for him. That's how I look at it. Hey, that should be in there. We'll use it anyway. I wonder if this is like Willy Wonka. I just got a golden ticket. Who knows? Jack says, I noticed when you start a cut with the circular saw, you go backwards, maybe a ½ inch or so. I've never seen that technique. I'm going to steal that idea from you. I thought I was doing it the way everybody did it. Guess I'm not. I don't know. I just do things. And again, that goes in with right with what we were talking about. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, try a different way. Don't be afraid to change, for God's sakes. Who knows? So, okay. Thanks for pointing that out. I always find that interesting. Whether I do things like other people do when I'm kind of somewhat self-taught. I've had some people help me with some things in my life, for sure. Okay, we got to roll in this one again, as you know. Let's see, so if we come to here, that one could come out across and back down. Okay, we'll do it. I was just thinking, what if these guys think that I'm talking to entertain them? Now, this is what it sounds like inside of my head. It's just I'm doing it out loud now. More bad words. Big job. Is that going to be more difficult to set that on the frame of the trailer with the drop down attached to the floor so you move it into place by yourself? Yeah. Either way I do it, it's going to be difficult because that's just how I do things. Difficult for me, honestly. But I don't know. It should sit, if I did it within specification, I would think. No. Yes. I've got to put it underneath, screw it in, so it might even be easier to flip this back over. Is that what you're getting at? It might be easier to flip it over, attach it, and then put it on the seat of my pants, boys. Seat of my pants. Good job will figure it out for me before he gets off here, so. Start there. How did that happen again? Oh, I see. We're not exactly on a flat surface here. That's why I just tack them in. These are never super square. We try to keep them as square as possible, but it's never exactly square. Try it that way this time. Oh, I see. Don't hit the fingers. Now there. We still got ammunition. Alright. Now we can put a screw in. I sat on top of one of those little brad nails and didn't appreciate it. I had a guy that watches, a subscriber, sent me a couple of emails. He's coming from Missouri on Friday to pick up some aluminum at Max. He told me he's 81 years old and he's already built a couple campers. And I was like, well, that's super cool. And he asked if he could stop by. I said, well, you gotta make sure you tell him Rob sent you. He's, oh yes, oh yes. And then he's gonna stop by for a little bit. I think that should be interesting. I hope it's interesting enough to make a video out of. That would be super cool, I think. Oh, that was so cool. I just wonder how long is this? Am I gonna get dumped by two of these? Yep. I've got more I can cut down though. What's your excuse? Too short. Okay. Yeah, let's go this way to start. But yeah, as I talked about before, I don't necessarily like people just coming by like a tourist, but if it's your thing, that doesn't bother me. You can call ahead so I can get my mind right. And I know when I have to stop. I just don't like to be forced to stop, you know? I like to stop on my stop time. That makes sense. Seems like a real nice fellow on email. I find it interesting that he's doing a good job on the email. You would think that maybe in his age group that technology could very well have passed him by. I know a lot of people like that. I got friends like that that are in that age group-ish. They don't mess around on the internet, anything like that. I mean, I've got friends of that age group that don't even watch this channel. I'm like, I don't want to watch that YouTube. I don't need no Facebook. And I'm like, well, you then quit asking me questions about what I'm doing every day. That's very polite, isn't it? Oh, goodness. Look at that later. Oh, that's still. Okay. You're on track, boys. Okay, I could cut this one down. No, not that one. For sure not that one. Got another set over here. Now, surely get me where I'm going. This end. Out here and run this guy. A lot better yesterday when it was blowing away. Now it's blowing right into me. Oh well. I've seen that worried look upon your face. We're still here. Yeah, I just look. I was like, it's quiet. Maybe everybody left. Now, no. This one isn't on top. This is off to the side. Sometimes when the door fits in, you can't have it when it's on top. You have to start this back here. But we don't have that problem because we're off to the side. So we should not have any interference with the door frame. Okay. Good. Oh, rotted bullets. I'm just using 1.25 inch on these. That's become my favorite brad nails size. Oh, what? Must have misfired. There, got one stuck in there. Where's that other one went? This thing's going to be sturdy with these 2-inch screws in it, that's for sure. And I'm really not so sure that it has to be, oh, that can't work, all that, but here we are. Here we are. It's not going to hurt anything, that's for sure. Suppose if I was doing some sort of cost analysis, it would tell me to use a smaller screw, something like that. I bet. Here. There you go. Too low. Okay. Now we just got to do one more sign. You know, my last statement was made from a song in the 60s. You got that worried look upon your face. You got your troubles, I've got mine. That sounds familiar. Huh. I like old music. Okay. I'm going to take a little break, and I got to go cut this down. So I think we'll end it here for today. Head of the cost analysis department was a woman. She'd always tell you bigger is better. That's what she said for sure. And on that, appreciate you guys stopping by. Get that video out to you this weekend. I'm going to have to video this so I don't forget. And maybe we'll do another one tomorrow. We'll see how things are going. And if I'm doing something cool, just hit the bell. There's a bell somewhere, and it'll alert you that I'm getting ready to start. So once again, appreciate you guys. And I'm going to go get a drink of water.